built a research and innovation centre, which at the time was really unique. There was not many research and innovation centres like it in Ireland. Now the model is being replicated across Ireland. But this was an environment where entrepreneurs, HPSUs and academics shared a common space. So in the first building we built here in Carriganore, which was also a new campus, not within the main campus, but it was a new campus on a new site. We had this centre, and in this centre the common space was shared by the community, and it created huge dynamic. And the dynamic of this centre was really getting people to share ideas, getting people to talk about things, getting academics to understand the challenges that were there in industry, getting industry to understand how they can partner with academics. But one of the missing ingredients was somebody who knew how to actually bring ideas to the market. And at that stage we're very, very fortunate, because we were joined by Barry Downs, who had worked in industry, who had worked in startups, and who understood how to build services. And Barry took over responsibility as the commercialisation director, and with the brief of taking IP generated through the TSSG and creating companies from it. Barry is now the CEO of the TSSG, and he's been hugely successful. So in a period of 10 years, from 2004 to 2014, when we look back at what we were doing, we discovered that we had built and spun out 10 companies directly from the TSSG, and B, we had created 600 jobs in the region. But that was only the first phase of it. So during this period, our reputation as an academic research centre, which we never really lost that focus in being world-class researchers, because that drives the innovation, that drives the product, that grew and grew, and we became the world leader in the area of mobile services and in the area of communication services.
Very much when I came here I bought into his vision of research having an impact in the community. And myself and Willie are very alike in terms of, focus on bringing, really talented people to the region, whether they be graduates from WIT or graduates from universities across Europe, or have, commercial experience, bringing them to the region and putting them in kind of cross-functional hot teams to create really kind of cool technologies. And I guess for me it's very personal as well, because I'm from Waterford. I'm a graduate originally of WIT. And when I graduated, there really wasn't any IT base in Waterford. There was effectively, Waterford Crystal had a very small IT department. And so when I graduated, there was no jobs here in Waterford, and I went via Limerick to the US. And then even when I came back, I went to Dublin, and I was involved in the startup scene in Dublin. But there was still very little in Waterford. And so I came down originally to work with a company called Waterford Technologies, which was an original spin-out of TSSG that Willie was involved in, and Eamon de Lester was involved in creating with Jerry Kinheedy and Brendan Nolan. And Brendan is the CEO of the company now, and he's based in Orange County. And I was really attracted by this concept of building startups based upon research, because when you're looking at startups, one of the things you're looking at is what are the ideas? How can you get really good ideas and really good and experienced people to work on those technologies? And so research is an ideal place to get that knowledge. If you think about it, you've got really smart people coming together, looking at the future. Quite often the challenge, I think, historically in research is that they've been doing that independently of what's happening in the market environment. So I guess to answer your question a little bit more directly, I think the secret sauce is we really focused on building competencies, bringing in great people and doing great research, but then actually framing it with an understanding of what's going on in the market environment.
It's not sufficient to have the good ideas, otherwise every region would be a Silicon Valley. You also have to have the people, and one of the things that Barry brought to the table that was hugely innovative was to use the TSSG as a way of bringing into the region highly qualified people. So we built a community of researchers and innovators that really, I would say, is still unique in the Irish academic environment, because within the TSSG itself, 30% are involved directly in what would be traditional academic research. Another 30% of our staff would be more applied. They would have a strong industry experience, and they would be working, for instance, the European Framework Programme on Enterprise Ireland projects. And the final 30% are people who have actually worked in industry, who have delivered products into industry. Now, when we say 30-30-30, it's just a convenient way of talking about how we're structured. We build multidisciplinary teams, so our research centres are made up with people of different experience, students, people, postdocs, academics who are very academically focused, engineers who have strong engineering experience from industry. But it's that kind of community that we've built, the relationship we have through our research and innovation centres with HPSUs and with entrepreneurs. But also, we now say that in the Southeast we have, you can see a TSSG DNA which permeates all the companies in the region that are in this mobile services area.
We strongly felt that if we were building software, we wanted it to work. And we didn't, if we were transferring and licensing software out into a startup company, we didn't want them to have to rebuild it, which was sometimes the case in other research groups. So we set up that group, and that was a critical part of FeedHenry actually, because when we transferred the software out, it worked. It was a working product. It was working technology. We've also more recently targeted design skills. So we have an internal design and usability group that produce amazing design, both for graphic design for marketing purposes, but also for the applications, for websites. And you, of course, if you're building mobile applications, they have to have great design as well. So that's an internal group that we built. We've also, when we approached this 10 years ago, we decided to set up commercialization as a separate division, so that we kind of built hot teams that would create technologies. And once it became established, then we integrated into the rest of research. And so now we have research units which are thematic. So we have mobile services, or we have data mining and social computing, and they within them have research and development and commercialization as well. So we've embedded it in the organization. And now we're very much focused on, we have a lot of startups that we've created, and startups that have come in to work with us, and startups that have come in through the New Frontiers program. We're very much concerned with supporting them in any way we can, and also creating networks in which they can plug into. And of course, on FeedHenry, the announcement of the acquisition by RedHat is really, I think, a critical moment for the cluster, because the cluster has been missing a number of things. It's been missing a multinational. It's been missing a big multinational software company. In any cluster, in any region, that's a critical component. And now we have one, and it's a great one actually. We're really kind of thrilled to have RedHat here. And we're thrilled because they are a hardcore tech organization, largest providers of Linux software worldwide, also JBoss technologies, cloud technologies, and data storage technologies. And FeedHenry is such a natural fit in terms of mobility, and the potential of the RedHat / FeedHenry to grow now and to scale and to be if you like, a company in our region that actually leverages RedHat scale to ship product worldwide. I think it's a huge potential both for our region in terms of anchoring a deep tech company here, and also for attracting talent in, because that's one of the key things.